Penny, daar is jy soms klein maat en net soos jy daar is, vertel ons hoe jy lekker leer. Show us, teach us, bring it all together. Penny, our friend here at ENA.
Hello and welcome to Show Me How. I'm Gloria Bastos. Sculptures have been used by many different cultures as ornaments, religious icons, or simply as works of art. And they can be made from all sorts of materials, such as porcelain, stone, wood, bronze, and even other materials too. Today, though, we'll be learning to make sculptures from fabric and a textile hardening solution. Bobby, thank you so much for joining us. It's nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm dying to see what we do with rags and with fabric. Tell me a little bit more about it.
Partex is a textile hardener,
Yes.
primarily a textile hardener, which can be used for any fabric. Cottons, the more natural the fabric,
Yes.
the harder it becomes.
Okay.
And then of course we've got the other product, which is our stone art, which you can mix to form an air dry clay, which is really nice for children to play with, art schools, anybody can use it. It's non-toxic.
Fascinating.
This for instance is made with an air dry clay.
Yes.
Our fabrics, this is fabrics which becomes hard.
It's amazing,
It's
'cause
weatherproof. You can put it outside in the rain, the sunshine.
And will it last for many, many
Lasts
years?
for many years. We just obviously advise to varnish it.
Yes, to seal
But,
it. Yeah.
but all our products, we've got 4 colors and 1 is transparent.
Okay.
So it's terracotta, blue grey, ivory and the bronze.
Okay. So,
And yes.
so primarily it's a textile hardener.
textile hardener.
So we would always be sculpting with fabric.
No, not always.
Not
We
always,
can use,
okay.
if we use fabric, for instance, you would dip your fabric into your Partex,
Yes.
which doesn't have to be watered down or thinned down or anything, into Partex, and then you would drape and wrap. And
Okay.
obviously, the more folds and pleats you have,
Okay.
the nicer the end result.
But now, Bobby, how do we start on this?
We use a piece of polystyrene,
Yes.
as I have in front of me. We're going to do it exactly like that, and I start by scratching out these areas
So that
Just
just
show you.
to create these grooves.
to create the grooves. Yeah,
Yeah. Lovely.
here we go. You can scratch out as much as you like. It doesn't have to be like this. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, right. And then what we do is we take our Partex bronze. We always prep our board. We have to prep
So
our
we don't
board.
need to prime it with anything
No.
else. We prime
No.
it. We go straight to the paint.
We go straight to the paint. Yes.
Paint slash
As
fabric
yeah,
hardener.
the fabric hardener.
Okay,
That's
but
correct.
in this case, we're not working with fabric.
No, so we're going to just put some in a bowl. I'm going to put my gloves on. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm not going to put my gloves on now because I'm just going to prep my board
Okay,
first with the
perfect.
brush.
So we just basically paint it. You're painting it with a bronze, but I see this
Yeah.
board is quite red. So obviously you've used multiple layers of
The
paint.
base is bronze.
brown.
Is the bronze.
Well,
yes.
actually, you can see it in the grooves here. You can see the dark color coming through,
Correct.
and the bright red color then on top.
Yes.
Bobby, while you paint that, I see that you've got some masks that you've prepared here.
Yes.
Now, do you pour this into a mold?
Yes, we pour that into a mold, and we also supply that to our
The
shops.
molds.
Not
Okay.
the molds, the little heads, the African
Okay.
heads. Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
So, but when we pour into molds, what are we actually pouring? Is this plaster of Paris?
It's
or-
a plaster of Paris.
Okay.
It's a stone product that we
Okay.
use.
So
yes.
then there's so many molds available that depending on the design that you want to use, you will actually go and pour into a mold that suits your design.
Correct, and we try and stick to themes
Yes.
where we have the African or the Maasai or whatever,
Okay.
and so we change it. So I'm not going to paint this whole board.
No, I think
'cause
you've
we've-
got one prepared,
Yes,
haven't
I
you?
have got one prepared.
Makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I've prepped the board. We've done everything. It's dry. We can work. It's actually better to work, let it dry, and then continue
And
working.
how long does it take to dry?
You know what? Normally about an hour, half an hour to an hour
Okay.
dry to the
So
touch.
quite
But on poly board, it's very quick.
Okay, fantastic. So now we want to basically reproduce this.
Yeah.
So we're going to use all the different things for
So
textiles.
yeah, so we have our Maasai head, which we
Okay.
are going to wrap with the foil.
Okay,
to
and that
show.
has also been poured and made out of plaster of
Correct.
Paris.
Yes, yes.
Lovely.
So what I do, I just fold this over just a little bit, and we put this around, it's around the bottom of the body.
So we're wrapping Our Lady in a blanket, basically.
Yeah.
Can I hold that for you?
Yes. It's fine. And we just go round and round, and we pinch it, and that is what it looks like.
To create a nice slender and long shape.
So it will go down like that.
Okay.
And then what I do is, with the masking tape, just tape it up. With the masking tape, it gives you a better feel and a nice, because this is, if you don't pinch, it's very loose, So the masking tape keeps everything in place.
Okay.
So we
what
just
fascinates me is the fact that the paint will actually adhere to all of these interesting surfaces.
Correct.
Because that is normally a big problem.
Yes.
All of these things we have at home, obviously not the molds, we don't have those, but we can go out and buy those in the craft shops. But everything else is available.
Absolutely.
Lovely.
Yes.
So once you've wrapped your lady in
we just
in
continue.
tape.
I've actually done one here already.
Okay.
Just actually at the same stage. I'm just going to go down with the masking tape again.
Just to make sure that it's
Just
all...
make sure. I'll just run it down like this. And then pinch it.
Is this a fairly new product that's out on the market?
Partex had its birthday the other day. It's 10 years old.
Okay, so it's been around a while.
Yeah.
Right, so there's
Now,
Our Lady.
now I'm going to just paint this.
And again, we're painting her with a brown base coat, or the bronze base coat, and then
Correct.
we will do some highlights in the red a little bit later on.
Correct.
And how long would it take to dry on the plaster of Paris?
About 15 minutes.
Okay. And again, it's interesting that you don't need to prime it. Although it's quite an
Nothing.
absorbent or porous medium, it
Correct.
still doesn't need a primer.
No. So we're going to put that down to dry. Just
I'll
lift
hold
it
her
up
down.
like that. And then our other heads, we can decide where we want to put them.
The masks.
The masks. Yeah, which would normally, these are the prepped ones, but the others are these.
Okay. And it's the same principle. We're just going
Same
to paint
principle.
it exactly as we
Same
did
principle. We would lay them out, decide where you want them to go. Remember that this product is an adhesive. So we glue everything down with this as
this
well.
one. So in other words, you paint it, and while it's wet, you stick it on?
Well, I'm going to paint the back now,
Okay.
and we stick it on.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. That's very interesting. So
Yeah.
you don't have to bother with glue as well.
So we've glued that down.
Okay. And then you've got interesting textures here.
Yeah.
You've got corrugated board, I think. And so really any recycled materials that you find, you can use.
And you just paint the back of your
Of the corrugated board.
corrugated board, and you stick it on. Paint the top.
Fantastic. It's amazing. Okay. And what have you used on the side here?
That
Looks
is
like-
just a.
Looks like a twig.
Also, yeah. You can actually use anything there. I've just also used a piece of corrugated board,
Yes.
which I have rolled up. Which I rolled up
Okay. And
to look
again,
like this.
you glued it with a paint product.
Painted as something down there. Painted the whole tube,
Yes.
and then we have the finished product, which is this.
Lovely.
So that will go there,
Okay.
and then
What do we do with Our Lady? How do we stick her down?
because Partex is a adhesive,
Adhesive, yes.
we are going to wrap her with the power cottons.
Cotton.
Cotton, yeah.
This cotton waste that you've got
Correct.
here.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So I'm going to put my gloves on now, so that I can just show you.
And that would basically be almost our last step, am I right? Because we wrap her and then we paint her again.
Yeah, and then we start working with the colours.
Okay.
And you can really go any colour. And anything you've done, if I don't like that, change it. Make it blue.
Yes,
You can
yes.
go over and over.
Very
and if you
nice.
work with the product as well, and you've got to rush out or you can't finish a product, you can pick it up anytime and continue working with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about your brushes? Do you need to soak them in terps, or are
Not
they?
at all.
So it's a water-soluble
It's
product.
a water-based product, and you can also use oils or acrylics on
Is
this.
that so?
Yeah.
But Bobby, now if we use oil paint on this, is that not going to eat away at the polystyrene?
Not at all.
No. I'm dying to see how we wrap Our Lady
Okay.
in the cotton. Is this
Yes.
just cotton
it's
waste?
just, yeah.
Okay.
It's cotton
And there's
waste.
so many shops that sell cotton waste and fabric
Yes.
waste. It's ideal for this kind of project, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, I see. You dip it straight into the
dip it in,
product.
work it through.
Okay. I thought we were going to be painting
No,
it
no.
meticulously.
So we see that all the fibers are covered with the product.
Okay.
And remember, it's an adhesive, so
And
It's
now
going to
this
stick
is
to
what's
that.
going to harden and set as clay.
hard as rock.
Okay.
Really gets
this is
rock, rock
fascinating.
hard.
And you know, again, it's all about your own decor style and your own theme. We've gone with an
Certainly.
African theme here, but you could
Yes.
do anything that you
You
wanted
can
to
do
at home.
anything. So you just got to see that you coat all the fibers.
Okay. And that you wrap it.
And for instance, there where there is nothing,
Yes.
it's not a problem. We just dip it in
And dab it
and
a
we
little
d-
bit
we
more.
dab it a bit
Okay.
more.
Fantastic. And then we would wrap it all the way down. And I see you've even left a little bit trailing at the end
Yeah,
here.
you can wrap it all the way down, trail it, cut it off, anything that you
And
want
then
to do.
as you're wrapping and while it's still wet, you stick that on and you
Yeah,
leave it
you
for
wrap the whole thing and you put it down, and it also depends on how warm it is. You can
Okay.
use a hairdryer to
to
dry,
speed
to
up the
speed it up,
process.
put it in front of a heater,
Good idea.
anything.
Good
And
idea.
that's how you do it.
I know
So-
you've got another one that's a little bit more advanced than this, so
Yes.
I just want to show the viewers how we do the top coat on that.
Okay.
Here you go.
Okay.
Okay, so this one is completely prepped and completely stuck down, and all we're going to
Completely
do is the
Yeah.
paint effect on top now.
Correct. So what we use is, I explained to you earlier about the Bister product. Sorry, I've touched this container now.
No problem.
About the Bister product, you'd get that cracking.
Yes,
on
like
the-
an
on-
antique effect.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
So what we can do is also just with the sponge straight from the bottle, push it into your
Into
crevices.
the okay.
Yeah. So
Now-
there we go. So we just push it. You can use a brush to do it.
Right.
Anything.
And that's going to crack the paint that's inside.
No, it's not going to crack the paint at all. It just gives it a nice,
Antique finish.
a darker look. It's
Okay.
a patina. So I can go over here.
Okay.
It'll go into all the lower areas.
And then in the lighter areas, we do a dry brushing effect.
Yeah, we can paint
Okay.
it. You can bronze it. You can do anything. Push it onto here. You'll see that it's darker.
Fantastic. And the paint, can you show me
And the
how to
paint,
do a little bit of the
show
paint
you.
as well?
Show you how to
And then
do
I
that.
think we've got a pretty good idea. This is really, really very interesting technique and something I hadn't seen before, to be honest
I
with
just
you.
push my paints onto my plastic
Well,
work surface.
we're going to throw it away anyway. So,
Certainly.
okay.
And really any colors. And if it's such a forgiving product. If you're using a color and you don't like it, you can go back and you can change it. So you can use your brushes, you can use a sponge,
Okay.
and you can blend
And
them.
just start highlighting the areas that you want to stand out.
Absolutely.
And I think especially on these rippled surfaces, you can do a
Yes.
lovely dry
You
brushing
can just
effect.
do. Go.
Wonderful. Bobby, I believe I'm going to get my hands dirty, and I'm a little bit apprehensive, I must be honest.
You are going to. Very easy.
So you say?
Absolutely. I'm going to show you.
And I believe I need my protective gloves.
Yeah, let's just put on our gloves.
Okay.
As you know, this product is water-based. Just wash your hands with warm water and soap.
Okay.
But it's
perfect.
just easier
But
now with
ideally
the soap.
protect your clothing, protect your work surface.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes. Right.
So this is the skeleton of the boat.
Correct. That is
Uh-huh.
the skeleton of the bird, and we are going to wrap it now with strips of fabric, which I've cut 3 centimeters wide. And as I say, it was just any cotton knit. I actually prefer to use the cotton knit because it gets.
It's got a
nice
little
and
bit
hard.
of a stretch to
Yes,
it.
yes.
So, but basically, I see you've gone and used something that looks quite new, but you can take an old T-shirt and cut it up.
For certain. Yes, anything.
Okay.
Anything. You can use any old.
And then, do I just
fabric.
start wrapping?
No, we're going to dip it into the Partex
Ah.
first, and then you're going to
Okay.
wrap your boat.
That's
Just
much,
get
much
your
easier,
bowl.
actually.
Yes.
And again, it doesn't matter which color we use, depending on your project.
No. As long as you coat all the fibers.
Now, you said to me earlier that you have 4 colors. Are they all sort of earthy colors?
We have the ivory, yeah, the blue grey, which
Okay.
you can get almost a marble, a blue finish,
To
a
it.
blue stone finish.
Okay.
If you use that, and then it's your terracotta, which we all know, and then the transparent. So if you wanted to do your boat in black, you can use transparent, dip your black fabric, and it will remain black.
Okay, all right. Well, the fact that you've got light colours is useful because then you can paint any other colour on top of that.
Yes.
Is
And
this the
pull
way to do
right
it?
through. Less is more. It mustn't be dripping.
Okay.
Okay. Then you're just going to turn your boat and start. Just pinch it and start working.
So it's a matter of just
There we go.
getting, oh, my gloves are
Oopsie.
also stuck in there. Thank you. Oh, and the end
that's
just
what you
gets
do.
wrapped up.
Gets wrapped
Lovely.
up. Yes.
I think these gloves are a little bit big for me.
They are.
So I'm getting confused between the fabric and the gloves. Okay, but that's the idea,
Yes.
basically. And we wrap it all the way through,
Continue all the way through,
including our wooden block.
including the wooden block.
Okay,
yes.
lovely.
We've actually got at the bottom, there's a little hole so that you can mount it on a stand. But
Good
that
idea.
you would just move it away, you know, to make so that one can see
or
the
use a
hole.
pair of scissors afterwards and
Sure.
just clear that hole.
Okay.
Lovely. So once we've covered the whole lot, we move on to the next step. You've got one prepared,
Put
haven't
that
you?
down, yes, and there we have. Then what we must do is our heads, we are going to also paint them.
Yes.
We don't have to do that now, we've already prepared.
Lovely.
prepared
And
them.
again, it's a plaster of Paris, and we've molded it. And once
Comes
it's
out of a
dry,
mold, yes.
comes out of a mold.
Yes,
Lovely.
yes.
And they are beautiful, because that was one of the things that was concerning me, is how was I going to achieve these beautiful faces? So I'm glad that it's
Yeah.
already molded.
So what we do then is we're going to wrap. You remember how I wrapped the
Yes.
other one? You're going to put that around.
Okay.
with-
These
so you
gloves
like-
are bothering
you want
me.
to take them off.
Let me take them off. Good. And we wrap it so that
And
we
nice and tight. So pinch it at the top because we're going to put masking tape there just to
Okay.
secure it as well.
and we're wanting to basically create the length, am I right, for the
Yes.
body?
For the length? Yeah, for the body. That's correct.
How does that look?
Perfect. And then you're going to put her down as though she's sitting on the boat. Put her on here.
Okay.
Push her a bit forward.
And then when it's drying, how do you support this?
Remember, it's an adhesive.
Yes.
So it's stuck down.
And the
Let's
body
stay.
will just
She'll
stay
She'll
upright
stay,
like
yeah.
this.
So we could put her like that.
Okay.
Let's do both first, and then we can put them both on.
Okay.
Okay. We
This
have
is,
another
looks like it's going to be wobbly and fall
No,
back.
it won't. She won't. Once we've got the fabric on.
Okay. And this one we're going to wrap
The same.
in the same way.
Correct.
So in the end, it ends up looking like a garment. She's
Yes,
got a
correct.
garment
And
around
you'll drape your fabric so that it will look as though they've got legs.
Yes.
I have put legs on the front, and I'll just demonstrate quickly how to make the
Okay.
cape because we actually have some of that.
There you go. So this lady sits in front, am
So
I
you can
right?
put it in the front and push it down and organise them so that
shorten
they-
this one a little bit.
Remember, you're going to use the masking tape as well.
Oh, yes.
There we go.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Right.
Then wrap.
Wrap this just to keep the
Just wrap. We can
the
just do
tin
the
foil
top now, yes, so that she doesn't come off her
off her perch.
pedestal. There we
Does
go.
that look all right?
Perfect. I'll just pinch
Okay.
this for you.
You know, the painting is intimidating me a little bit because you've done such a beautiful effect there, but I'm trusting that your faith in me is not going to be misplaced.
You know, and to paint as well, these paints have got this wonderful little nozzle, so you just dot, dot, dot,
Okay.
dot.
And what kind of paint is that?
This is a Tuscal paint that I like to use.
Textile paint, did you say?
It's yeah,
Okay. Good. Now we've got them more or less in the right shape.
right. Now we're going to
To drape them, to dress them.
we're going to
Okay.
dress them.
This is like playing dollies all over
Yes.
again.
Okay, so we've just got little pieces of fabric like this. You
Okay.
can make it smaller, bigger, add to it
Yes.
any way that you want to.
And we need to dip it into
We're going to dip it back into that. I always start with it over there.
Do you dip the fabric first or afterwards?
You're going to, yeah. You've got to dip it first. But this is just to give you an idea. And we go all the way around.
Just so that your draping looks natural. Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Okay. So we dip the fabric in
Correct.
into the bronze Partex
Into the
Fabric
bronze
hardener.
Partex, yes.
and soak it beautifully, but you say not too much.
No, it mustn't be dripping.
Okay. Let's try and squeeze this through. Oh, but I don't have all the
Open
fibers
it-
wet.
Yes,
Okay.
open it up. Yeah.
This is very, very messy, I must tell you. Then. All right.
Yep.
So
And as I say, the more creases and folds, the nicer
okay.
your design.
Now, the fact that I've got paint all over my hands doesn't matter because she's already painted in the
Not
same
at all,
color.
yeah.
If she was painted in a different color, we'd have a problem.
Yes, now you slide her onto the bud, cover her legs.
Okay.
There we go.
And it actually looks like she's got, as I said, fabric beautifully draped around her.
Correct. So you
A
can push her
blanket or
forward,
something
yes.
like that.
And then our next stage, I mean, you can see that's exactly what we're doing. And then we have put on our clay legs where we would mix our stone art
Yes.
with Partex. So you'd mix, let's say, a cup of this and a cup of Partex, and you'd form an air dry clay, which I actually have here.
Okay. And that is to form the legs.
Yeah, so you would have, I don't know if you want to feel this.
Yes. Oh, it's just like putty, really.
Yeah. yeah.
Okay. So we form our legs from this, and we shape the little feet, and then we attach that
and then
on
you
as
can
well.
just lift up her dress and you can put her legs in.
Lovely. What I just want to try is the paint effect on the the jewelry. Would you show us how to
Certainly.
do that, please?
Right. So, as I said, we've just got.
And the nice
containers.
thing is that you don't even need a brush.
You don't. You can also do her just bronze by highlighting her
Yes.
with a bit of our bronze mixed with the varnish.
Okay.
But oopsie, you can just.
And again, this paint would dry very, very
Oh,
quickly.
yes, yes.
Lovely.
Yes, it dries very
These
quickly.
bronze powders that you have, are they special embossing
They
powders? or-
are our colour tricks which we
Okay.
use. Yeah.
Okay, but the idea would be that we would actually just use the nozzle to create the little
Correct.
beading
The little
effect.
beads, yes. That's exactly what
Lovely.
you would do.
You know what? It's not something that you can do in 10 minutes. Obviously, it needs a little bit more time,
Yes.
but certainly very achievable. And again, once you've got something that suits your decor, the possibilities are endless.
And I think doing it as well, people think that they can't do anything, but I mean, you look at that.
Absolutely.
And
It was
once it's dried, tomorrow it tells a whole different story.
fantastic.
It's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Show Me How was proudly coloured by P&A, suppliers of stationery, books, arts and crafts. P&A, colour your world. Products available in-store at P&A. Visit www.pna.co.za for further information. P&A.